So my book buying ban is still not going very well. Hi everyone, today I'm here with my May book haul. I've got quite a few here, so I'm going to try and just speed through them, so I might not give a very big synopsis on them, especially if I don't know much about them. I'm going to start with the two that I didn't buy, the ones that I was either given to by a publisher or kind of by a publisher. I'll explain when I get to that book, it's hard to describe. So the first book that I received this month was On Starlit Seas by Sarah Sheridan. I received this from Black and White, who I think you all know are like my favourite black, who are like my favourite people ever, especially Laura, because she sent me a bar of chocolate with this. So, thank you. I mean, a book and some chocolate, that's what I want. That's all I ever want. So, all I pretty much know about this book is that it is based like around the chocolate industry in like the 20s or the 1820s, same idea. It does sound really good though from the back, but it's like a very long synopsis, so I'm not going to read it out with you. It comes out in July, so I'll hopefully have this read this month and can put up a review for you guys, but I got chocolate, I'm happy. And that cover, minus her face, that's amazing. And then the second book that I got without paying for, without stealing it either, was the paperback of Unbecoming by Jenny Downham. As you know, I got the galley of this book like way back last, like a year ago now, and then I bought the hardback, and the publishers, David Ficklin Books, sent us, the shop, I think they sent us two paperbacks actually, and I really wanted one, so as you can see from the sticky note here, my colleague Matt left this by the till with this little sticky note on for me, and it says, good work today. So he gave me the proof because I worked well. So yeah, I now have a paperback of a book I already have 2 copies of. Now on to the books that I bought this month, or last month because it's now the 2nd of June. There's a nice little mix, it's very varied. So as I said, I'm gonna jump into it because I don't want this video to be like thousands and thousands of minutes long. The first book I picked up is one that I pre-ordered. I was scrolling through the sort of upcoming books on waterstones.com. This caught my eye. The title and the synopsis sounded amazing. And then I saw who it was by and I'm a little bit wary now. So I grabbed a copy of Side Effects May Vary by Julie Murphy. Now, this sounds fantastic. It's about a girl, I think she's 16. Yeah, she is. And she has leukemia. And it's basically like, everyone's like, okay, she's gonna die. And from what I gather, she basically just goes around and takes revenge on people for things, but she then goes into remission and she has to sort of deal with the consequences of all the things that she's done, because obviously she'd done them thinking that she was gonna die. And I just think it sounds amazing. However, as you know, Julie Murphy wrote Dumpling, which I despised. So, although saying that, I am going into this, I mean, from the sounds of it, the character is probably going to be a bit of a fucking bitch. So that's what happened with Dumpling. Dumpling was a bitch, I didn't like her. So I think I'll know going into this, or I'll expect going into this, that I'll hate the main character. So it should come off a little bit better with me, because I haven't heard anything about it, I've heard no reviews, so I've got no expectations at all. I then picked up this classics box set from Vintage, so as you see it's got the rabbit there, and then just some stuff on the back. So in this is Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, Little Women and The Secret Garden. I've never read Alice in Wonderland but always wanted to. I've never really cared for Little Women, but it's a classic and it was in the set. But The Secret Garden was one of my favourite films when I was younger, so I really, really want to read the book. It was in a nice little box and I couldn't resist because they're very nice, they sit nicely together. I then picked up Bryn Rules by John Medina. This was actually via recommendation of a customer. She came into the shop and she was buying a bunch of books, and in it was Reasons to Stay Alive by Matt Haig, and also I told her I really enjoyed it. And we got into a conversation, and it turns out that she suffered really badly with anxiety whilst at school, the same as I did. And then that made her want to become a teacher. So she's became a teacher and she helps her students who are struggling with like anxiety and depression and other sort of like mental health illnesses like that. And she said something that stuck with me. She said we need to stop calling it mental health and just call it health, because that way, you know, it'll take less of the taboo and stuff away, but that's another discussion for a different video. But she told me that this is one of the best books that she's read, and it's basically got 12 principles for surviving and thriving at work, home and school. And I mean, one of those things doesn't concern me anymore, but I have a feeling that this might be something that I could have used about 5 years ago. But I still have days where I struggle and I still don't want to go to work and things like that. So I think this will still help me now, even though my anxiety and things are a lot more under control and I'm managing them a lot better than I used to. I then picked up a book that I've had my eyes on forever, basically, which is Wolf by Wolf by Ryan Grodin. I have wanted this for ages, but as I was walking past our table where they're piled on, I noticed that this is the slightly larger paperback format rather than the normal size. It's not quite trade, but it's not a mass market either. It's also slightly more expensive. It's like $10.99 instead of $7.99. But I cannot resist like bigger books, so I finally picked it up. I think everyone knows what this is about by now, but it's basically set in a world like where Hitler won the war and thus didn't kill himself. And then there's just like motorbike competition and the winner gets to meet Hitler, so this girl decides she's going to do it so that, I'm sure it's a girl, yes, it is. So she decides she's going to enter and win so she can meet Hitler and kill him, and I just think it sounds fantastic. The next two books I picked up are both memoirs because I've got really into those recently. Like, I don't know what it is, but I just, like, I'm a little bit obsessed with memoirs and biographies right now. So the first one I picked up was The Wrong Knickers by Bryony Gordon. Now, when I first started working at Waterstones, I'm pretty sure one of my colleagues had a review card for this and said it was brilliant. I actually don't really know what it's about. Let me give me a second. It's basically just about this girl's life during her 20s. How, because everyone says that, well, I mean, people say your school years are the best of your life, but, you know, a lot of people say your 20s are the best years of your life. But this is basically how she said it wasn't quite what she was expecting. Stuff like how she ended up, like, getting STIs and went into debt so she could fund a varied diet of wine, crisps and vodka, and just all this stuff. Oh god. Yeah, also how it feels when your dream man turns out to be a one-night stand who hands you someone else's knickers in the morning. So there you go. It sounds like it's going to be absolutely hilarious. The next one I picked up simply because it had like the most gorgeous cover I've ever seen on any book. Fierce Attachments by Vivian Gornick. I've read the synopsis of this, and from what I gather of it, and I always say that because I sometimes think I pick things up wrong, but it's basically the girl and her mum, they've not got the best relationship, and then they take a walk through New York and just chat away, and it's like how they then sort of become a little bit closer, I think, something like that. It just looked really nice, and it was a memoir. This next book, I'm going to show you it and then I'm going to give you context. So I picked up a copy of Usborne Sticker Puzzle Farm. I recently got access to my library's like online thing so I can renew books that I borrow on there. And I went on it and I was like, how the hell have I got like 10 pages when I've only borrowed 2 books before? But it turns out that they take your name and date of birth and they can link it like with your old stuff. So like all the books I borrowed as a kid are on there, and this was on it. Now, I don't know if anyone else has this, and I don't know if I'm going to explain this right, but this book, every so often I'd be thinking about books from my childhood and I could always picture like one page, it's this first page, I would always picture this page, and I always remembered that you had to like find things, and it was a puzzle essentially, and it's just, I saw the cover and I was like, oh, that's that book, and I discovered I was like shelving the sticker books at my work and I came across it and I just had to buy it. And then I jump from that extremely childish book to this book, which is The Egyptian Myths, A Guide to the Ancient Gods and Legends by Gary J. Shaw. Ancient Egypt is basically like my favourite like thing ever. Like, I love history, but I just love the ancient Egyptians. I don't know what it is. I love it. But I decided I needed a little book here, like, to tell me all about more of the myths, because I don't know very much about it at all. And then I bought another memoir, because it's what I buy now. So I picked up It's Okay to Laugh, Crying is Cool Too, a memoir about loving madly and letting go by Nora McInerney Purmore? I'm not sure. I picked this up on a whim. I saw the spine and I was like, oh, that sounds interesting. I wasn't sure what it'd be about. But it turns out it's about a woman who she'd been with boys before but never really got anywhere with them. And then she met, I think it was Aaron. Yeah, she met Aaron, but then he got diagnosed with a form of brain cancer, a very rare one. And, you know, they ended up getting married on, like, his hospital bed and stuff like that. And, you know, they spent their time, while he was dying, they spent their time together doing stuff that was important to them, like watching Buffy the Vampire Slayer reruns and things like that. And then obviously he died. So it's basically just about that period, and then also about how she gets over that, I think. And the final book, this wasn't the last book I bought this month, but it's the one I'm saving for last because it's the one I'm most excited about. You know, I'm just going to show you. Yep. I bought the chair now. So, I think most of you will know that this is Alexander Hamilton by Ron Chernow, which is the biography of the first Treasury Secretary of the United States and one of the Founding Fathers, who's on the $10 bill, Alexander Hamilton, who Lin-Manuel Miranda wrote a musical about, which I am obsessed with, and I'm actually wearing a t-shirt I got on Redbubble. You can't see it very well. Hold on. It's his signature, because I'm obsessed. So, I've like only got like about yay far into the 700-page book. Well, like that's like the acknowledgements, so I've got all this to read. It's so interesting. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, I'm not saying that just to be like, oh yeah, like look at me. It is so good. I've been at this for almost a month now, and I still haven't hit like 100 pages because it's a big book and it's like lengthwise, height-wise. So, and the like font's quite small, and obviously it's not the easiest to read the way it's written, but I like it. And when you can't get the Hamilton, you go for this. And if you think this is bad, just you wait. Just you wait. Until next month's book haul. Seriously, you don't want to know. Those are all the books that I bought in May. I'm being serious with myself. I've got 2 books that have came in for me today at work. I'm going to buy them, and then I'm not buying any more books in June, and that means if I have more than 5 books, 4? No. If I have more than like 6 books in my June haul, someone take my bank card away from me. Or my staff card, take my staff card, because then I won't buy them. I don't know. Thank you guys for watching. Again, let me know if you've read any of these books before and which ones that I like need to read, because I can never pick what book to read once I finish one. It takes me forever. But yeah, thanks guys for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye!